A tough day for Jumbo-Visma with the yellow jersey crashing, Kruijswijk out, and Pogačar looking very, very dangerous. This was stage 15, a transition stage. Could have been a break for rouleurs, can be a sprint. It was 40 degrees, 202.5 kilometers with just rolling climbs on heavy roads all day. I think Cavendish won in Carcassonne last year, and a big opportunity for Alpecin with Jasper Philipsen, Trek with Pedersen, Bike Exchange. Could they get Groenewegen over that category 3 5k 4% climb 50k's from the finish? We saw with the break formation, Lotto, Pollitt looking to get into that breakaway, and Wout van Aert here goes to get in the break. Sturven here goes behind the B&B rider. He's not going to chase Wout. And I'm thinking, oh, is Sturven trying to get in the break? And he's like, actually, I will try and get over to Wout van Aert, and starts to pedal here. And then he eventually stops. So I couldn't figure out, I think Sturven was trying to get in the break, and then he looks behind, he's like, nah, don't want to get in it. So I don't know. Honore eventually bridges over, and it turns out to be a group of three just because Alpecin were trying to block it up. Bike Exchange were just pacing and trying to block it up too. But yeah, I feel like Sturven did have a little bit of a license to get in the break today, and he just missed this one. I do wonder if Trek get in here, what happens with this break? Does it go all the way? In the end, they start pacing with Alpecin, with Bike Exchange, and so Wout van Aert's looking down the barrel of 180 Ks, whilst his teammate would have got to sit in, but probably a repeat of Longwy in even tougher temperatures. And look here, is this little camera, that's got to be the Netflix camera, right? Unless Jumbo-Visma are running that high-spec camera in their car. So obviously all the cars are fitted with it. Wait for that next year. I think that comes out before the Tour de France next year. So Wout van Aert gets told to sit up. Probably the right decision as Honore and Pollitt are left to bake in the heat. And Tom Schoens, I don't know how many bottles. Can he let us know how many bottles did he actually have? He goes up and he has to ride up the whole peloton. And it's like a huge hard effort, probably 12 kilos. Eventually gives the last bottle to Ciccone. He's like, hey, I'm done. Then a protest is there again, kind of half stops the race. And at the same time, Kruijswijk in the peloton crashes and he sort of points to his collarbone area. He's out of the race. I don't know if they neutralized it like the other day, and because I was actually having a bit of a siesta now. And they're going through now at these towns. They're always dangerous. Is there going to be crosswinds? Is there going to be road furniture? And Tej Benoot goes down, and I think he brings down Jonas Vingegaard with him, the yellow jersey. Benoot's like, must get my Garmin. Gets down and gets it, and Jonas, Cervelo's like, please, no, 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 bang. Just drops that one as he changes bike. He did put his chain back on today and didn't really panic, to be honest, and they get back on just before this 5k 4% climb where Trek are going to launch it because they want to drop all the quote-unquote pure sprinters. Vingegaard's got to move up a peloton because there could be splits on this whilst Wout van Aert was pulling to take the green jersey points. And so Trek just start lighting this climb up, first with Ciccone, then with Quinn Simmons, who's been in the break back-to-back days. Jakobsen goes out the back door, then Ewan pretty quickly. They won't make it back on, but not Groenewegen yet. Philipsen started the climb in good position, top 10 wheels stayed there. Vingegaard's back on, behind Wout, Majka and Pogačar, and Groenewegen's dropped with 3.5 Ks to go, but Bike Exchange don't panic. They set up a train, Mollema's pulling, and they just pace steadily with Groenewegen over this climb because there's 50 or so Ks to go. Sturven calls for 2 musettes as Benjamin Thomas, I think he was trying to take KOM points away for Geschke's teammate because he freewheels over the top and then looks over at Goujar and is like, oh, I guess we do have a gap. I think his initial move there was to take away the KOM points for his teammate. And then he decides to join the move of Goujar anyway, and they're 2 strong riders. They get away. And now Trek's life is made even more difficult, although they get help from DSM for Dainese. Groenewegen's 50 seconds behind. They're chasing. So now we've got 3 groups. Bora with Groenewegen, Jakobsen, Ewan dropped. They start pacing for Danny Van Poppel. Bike Exchange has dropped Matthews back as well. So they're all in on Groenewegen as more and more teams join the front. But he gets back on with 26 Ks to go. Credit to them. Kristoff, there's a lot of weird stuff happening today, guys. In the 40-degree heat, craziness happening as we see Wout van Aert jumping over the 25k to go banner, following Mads Pedersen, and Pogačar's just behind Jonas Vingegaard, and we don't exactly see Pogačar's attack. Well, we do see him. He's now in the next frame, chasing Wout van Aert. So very similar, I think, to this stage yesterday, and Jonas looks behind, very calm. Remember, he's crashed, I think hit his head, or helmet at least, on the ground, and he gets Laporte to close this gap. So instead of closing it himself, which I guess is Pogacar's plan, because like they're never going all the way, like Wout van Aert's going to sit on or go back and pull or whatever, but he gets Laporte to pull him back, doesn't do a huge effort in the wind, which is what I guess Pogacar wanted him to do. UAE start pacing, not really sure why. Trek eventually get back on. The gap's still 20 seconds, and Benjamin Thomas, he knows about aerodynamics. Trackman is a very strong rider, and these two are hard to bring back. Ineos eventually start pacing because there was a light crosswind, but then all the GC teams are at the front. They block it up again. It goes out to 25 seconds again, and it's still the GC teams. Laporte looking at Danny Martinez like, is that all you got? And 8Ks to go. We're waiting for Alpecin, for Bora, for Trek to come back to the front. And it's actually Bora Hansgrohe who closed back. And the moto drafting in the last 5Ks as well made it very difficult. Like, it was unbelievable. They eventually only catch measurement time in the last 500 meters with Groenewegen dropped off here. Bike Exchange actually brought him forward a little bit too early, and then he had to restart his sprint behind the 8-ball without a wheel to follow, trying to slot onto maybe Philipsen's wheel, but it's Philipsen who dive bombs this corner on the inside of Wout van Aert. They've got a left-hand bend here. Sturven leading out Mads Pedersen. Wout van Aert in the green jersey. Sagan on his wheel. Philipsen tries to open up on the inside. Pedersen's launched. Pedersen closes to the barriers and then closes back to the right with Wout van Aert on his right, but he can't shut the door on two sides. And Philipsen, threat of death into this bend, undercuts Wout van Aert, doesn't take the wheel off him though, and then tries to open up, and he would have won the sprint by a lot more if he hadn't been blocked. Philipsen is quicker than these two in a pure sprint, and he showed that in, I think, previous stages when he finished fast from a bad position, and incredible win for him today. Got over the climb easily, winning his first Tour de France stage after many tries and disappointments last year. Ahead of Wout van Aert, Mads Pedersen third, Sagan van Poppel, Groenewegen, Seneschal, Molzado, Pasqualon, Fred Wright rounding out the top 10. Vingegaard keeps the yellow jersey, but he's down a couple of teammates with Kruijswijk out. Roglic didn't start the race this morning. He abandoned, and Benoit, we will wait to see his condition after that crash as well. He was a little bit more ginger getting up than Jonas. Here's what the yellow jersey had to say after the stage.
Yeah, I think today was not the best day for us. Steven is abandoned the race, and Thies and I crashed, so not the best day. I'm okay. I hope also Thies is okay, but it's a bad day, but yeah, that can happen.
What happened exactly?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Thies crashed in front of me, and then I couldn't do anything, and yeah, that's what happens, and that's cycling. So yeah.
And what part of your body did you injure?
Yeah, I just have a bit of road rash, so the left side.
Enjoy the rest day, you deserve it.
Thank you.
Make sure you check out the Lantern Rouge Cycling Podcast for our rest day recap tomorrow. I won't have a video here. I've got to have a rest. My mind's cooked from the heat. I'll see you with the video on Tuesday. Ciao.